What's the technical term for this?
In Italian, it's called sofrito.
Yeah.
In French, it's called mirepoix. More or less the same thing. Now, when I went to an Italian cookery school, for a strong flavoured meat dish, like a bolognese sauce, they would say, you know, cook these until they're slightly charred, slightly golden to boost up that flavour.
Yeah.
But most Italians just fry it lightly just to make it all go translucent. But the basis is onion, carrot and celery, which will then, and okay, the other ingredients, we're going to use tomato puree, we're going to use beef mince, a mix of Italian herbs, olive oil and a dash of wine. Just heat up the oil a little bit, and I want something to stir. So, if you're ready, we'll... Oh, it's going. Right, so I always put in the celery first because it's got a lot more water in it than the onions and the carrots. So we just get that on the go. And you can pause the video and we'll put it back on when we're done. Okay, now.
I'm going to stand around this side.
Okay, yes. Now, this dish, a lot of English people will call it spaghetti bolognese, but Italians will call it sugo inglese because it's like the English version of what they would make.
Sugo inglese.
Sugo inglese. Sugo means a sauce. Yes. And inglese means English. So, sugo inglese, but as close to Italian as we can go. Now, you don't have to do the mirepoix. You could just fry an onion.
Yeah.
And then, say, get it so it's looking a little bit translucent. You can see, let me just, can you see these onions are going a little bit clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So at that point, I would chuck in the beef. I would chuck in the beef. It's a kind of a nice lean minced beef, 5%.
Yeah. What quantity was that?
That was a 500 gram pack. 500 grams. And there was a couple of celery stalks, one onion, and a couple of small carrots that went in there. So I'll just break up that mince. And what we're aiming for is to just brown it, which increases the savouriness of it. Or, as modern chefs like to say, umami.
Oh.
Umami is just a very distinct savoury flavour. If you want to know what the complete definition of umami is, Marmite.
Oh.
Marmite is what they would call umami, the pinnacle of umami. Okay, so I'm just going to fry this up a little bit to get it all nicely sautéed. We want it all to look like that, which is, I'll just get a bit out to the camera. We want it all to look browned like that. Okay. Right, so now the mince is kind of browned nicely. It's quite dry on the bottom of the pan. So we put it back on the heat. Now this is where I like to add the wine, but I do it in this way. Get it nice and warm, nice and hot, and just add a little bit of wine. Just a little bit. And you can see it's kind of simmering now with the wine there, but we've got it on high heat, and what we're going to do is cook that until it dries out. And the wine is actually then absorbed by the meat. And I'm still breaking up the mince in the pan, but you know, as I was saying when we weren't filming, I kind of like the chunks. It's like when you swirl up your spaghetti and eat it with the sauce on it,
Yeah.
you're getting left with all this meat in the bottom of your bowl which you then eat. Yeah, you see it's still bubbling away because that wine is still
Yeah.
cooking out. But once it starts to fry again, we'll add a little bit more wine, and that will, as I say, the wine then gets absorbed by the meat. We'll see.
Alcohol's got a very low
Boiling point,
evaporating
yes.
point, so
Yes, it's all gone. So
yeah, there won't be any alcohol in it.
no, there already isn't any alcohol in it.
Yeah.
I think boiling point or evaporation point of alcohol is about 70 or 80 degrees centigrade, isn't it?
Well, so I think it's nearer 70 than 80, but
Yes.
I couldn't.
So it
Quite
goes
the exact
pretty
figure.
fast.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've got to the point where all the liquid is evaporated and the meat is and veg is frying again. So we just add a touch more wine. It's only a little bit. We don't want it to boil. And we do the same. We just cook it out until the liquid has evaporated, but the flavour of the wine is now going into the meat. Okay, so we've got to the point where we've evaporated off all of that wine, which is all the alcohol's in the atmosphere, so we're all going to be a little bit drunk. But now I'll add a good pinch, this much. It's like a teaspoon, can you see that? Teaspoon of herbs. And again, I like to use an Italian blend. Okay. And then a vegetable stock cube. Again, for all the Italian food purists, this is in sugo inglese. It's not strictly an Italian dish. It's based on Italian food, but I think it was Elizabeth David that gave us what we like to call spaghetti bolognese, and that every Italian person would be quite horrified that we call it spaghetti bolognese. Right, I'm going to just add a little bit of water now.
Oh, right.
Okay. Now, the amount of water I put in, can you see, was just enough
Yeah.
to bathe all of the meat and vegetables there. It's not a huge amount. There we go. Just a little bit more, just to make sure everything's covered and they're not swamped. And then we're going to pop a lid on it and let it simmer, well, for as long as you like. The longer the better, but we'll probably give it about 10 minutes. Okay, now we've cooked the spaghetti and we're going to add, because it's in sugo or sugo inglese, we're adding tomato puree. because this is what I learned growing up when I was making a sauce for spaghetti. I've added the tomato puree. We'll whack the heat up a bit. I've already cooked the spaghetti, and I was going to mention something about it. Oh, what I was going to mention was, as we were cooking the spaghetti, the level of liquid in the pan here went below the meat. So I just added a little bit more boiling water just to bring it up to that level. And now I've added the tomato puree. And literally when it comes up to the boil, we're done. It's ready to go on the spaghetti.